Well, good morning.
Good morning.
As Stephen said, my name is Adam Conley. I am the director of the Seattle Service Corps, and as of January 6th, I'm a postulant for the priesthood in the Diocese of Olympia. I am grateful to my friend and mentor, Stephen Crippen, for inviting me to preach this morning, and to all of you for extending such a warm welcome to our visiting retinue this morning. I'm here with 6 members of the Seattle Service Corps. There's Laura, Julia, Emily, Lindsay, Sophia, Tally, and the person on the end is Hannah Hotchkeppel, my right hand in program leadership and an SSC board member. It just so happens I'm also the proud son of 2 Bainbridge locals, Ann and Bernie Conley, who are with us today. So this is actually my second time visiting Grace Church. I have a favorite framed photo of my mother and I taken in this very room at my sister's wedding in 2008. It's a treat to return to this beautiful sacred space to recall another joyful celebration, the wedding at Cana, in today's gospel reading from John. Weddings, mothers, sons. I confess that I'm something of a mama's boy. My mother and I have always been close, but as I've matured in adulthood, we've nurtured a deepening friendship that is very meaningful to me. I experience her unconditional love as a reflection of God's love, and that grounds my ability to love and serve others in my life and ministry. I can't say for sure if Jesus was a mama's boy or not, but I have my suspicions. I am convinced that he learned deep wisdom and compassion for his life and ministry from his mother. Jesus' adult relationship with Mary doesn't get a lot of airplay in the Gospels, but it strikes me as essential to the success of the spectacular miracle, John calls it a sign, that inaugurates Jesus' public ministry in the Galilean village of Cana. I don't know about you, but my first impression of Jesus here is that he seems kind of prickly. He's sharp and dismissive of his mother. While I would never call my mother woman, biblical commentator Gail O'Day suggests this form of address would not have been heard by Mary as rude or hostile in the same way it offends our modern sensibilities. While Jesus is distancing himself from his mother and her implicit request to save the party, he does so with the familiarity of a son who knows how to easily communicate with his mother in shorthand. Mary is unfazed. Like my mother, perhaps like yours, she is unflinching in her response to the needs of others. She reads the room with laser-like precision. Her concern is for the feelings of the guests and their experience of hospitality. Not only is she eager to see the wedding party enjoying themselves, she's trying to help the bridegroom and the host save face now that the wine has run out. Mary cares about people and relationships. As Jesus' first disciple, who knew the strengths of his gifts with a mother's intuition, Mary takes a clear leadership role in launching his ministry. She trusts her son, even after he initially tries to stop the momentum of an action that is already in play. I can almost hear the quiet confidence of her voice as she orders the servants to do whatever he tells you. Jesus, in John's gospel, is aware of his messiahship in a way that takes longer to develop in the other gospels. This is why Jesus protests that his hour has not yet come. However, John takes care to underscore Jesus' humanity, without which his divinity would be disconnected, disembodied, disincarnated, meaningless. John never actually uses Mary's name, but distinguishes her as the mother of Jesus, clearly locating Jesus in a familial, relational context. In fact, Mary gets top billing. Jesus and the disciples are mentioned only after John tells us that on the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Full stop. While I don't think that you, good people of grace, would run me off the island for heresy, I do want to now say that Jesus is very much the center of this story. It is Jesus' glory that is revealed at Cana, not Mary's. We get this gospel narrative on the second Sunday after the Epiphany because it powerfully manifests the person and vocation of Jesus Christ. At the same time, I believe it leaves room to celebrate Mary's important role as a partner and catalyst for Jesus' ministry. But what is Jesus' glory as revealed in this story? Surely this miracle has a kind of David Copperfield flashiness not typically seen in Jesus' other signs. Even the feeding of the 5,000 curbed genuine hunger. The wedding party apparently had water, so why does the divine blueprint fuel an already boozy feast with a copious amount of premium wine? Well, first, I think it's the premium, or the good stuff qualifier that's important, not the fact that it was an alcoholic libation. Our hope in Jesus assures us that the genuinely good stuff is there when we need it. It will never run out. Second, in spite of his initial reticence, Jesus comes through with extravagant generosity and abundance. I've been to Cana and seen a first-century stone water jar like the ones described here. They are impressive. Their capacity, as we heard in the gospel, is nearly 30 gallons. So if you're a numbers person, we're talking about almost 180 gallons total of what we might call Chateau de Nazarene, vintage 30 AD, or thereabouts. In all earnestness, maybe sometimes Christ's glory is revealed simply in the miracle of sacred presence. Lost my place. Of God's deep desire for us to experience overflowing, unconditional love. Can we accept that God delights in our joy and in our happiness? Maybe joy and happiness doesn't describe your experience of this present moment. Omicron is bringing COVID closer to us and our inner circles than ever before. We are all impacted by the pandemic in ways that range from tragic to just world-weary. We know the unsettling frustration of persistent limbo. Whether that applies to the systemic racism harming us all, but especially communities of color, or to the terrifying fact that we're perched on the precipice of irreversible climate change, or to an enduring experience of loss or transition that is close to home. Many of us feel we are now at that place in the party where the wine has run out. Friends, in Jesus, we are assured that the party, it ain't over. As resurrection people, that's what, when John opens this story with, on the third day, that's a resurrection reference. As resurrection people, we can confidently hope not only in what is yet to come, but what is already revealed in Christ's glory. I identify with the chief steward. Even on the darkest days, I sometimes encounter a breakthrough gift of grace, a moment of utter awareness of presence or gratitude, generosity, and it knocks my socks off. It's just, I sometimes need the gentle nudging of another person to remind me of the source of all love and goodness. We all need the prompting, mirroring, and encouragement of our communities. You don't need to be a priest or a postulant to have a vocation. All of us, like Jesus, need our Marys to help kickstart and support our call to receive God's love and to share it with those who are hungry and thirsty and marginalized and desperately in need of holy joy. While my mom is a powerful Mary for me, she's not the only one who fills that role. Many of you in this very room have energized my ministry. Many of you even now are helping to point the way as I endeavor to live into my call as a follower of Jesus. And so I wonder, who is your Mary? Who are the Marys in your life that help you follow your sacred path with courage and imagination? To whom do you bring strength, encouragement, and the faithful trust of the Mother of Jesus? The German mystic and poet from the turn of the last century, Rainer Maria Rilke, a favorite with the Service Corps, sees Mary's solidarity with an artist's clarity in his poem Of the Wedding at Cana. I share this excerpt in closing. Could she do otherwise than be proud of him who made the simplest beautiful to her? Was not even the lofty, large, accustomed night as if beside itself when he appeared? Ah, surely she had hundreds of times restrained herself from radiating her delight in him. She followed him, amazed. But there, at that wedding feast, when unexpectedly there was no wine, she looked across and begged him for a gesture and did not understand that he protested. And then he did it. She realized later how she had pressed him into his way. For now he really was performing miracles, and the whole sacrifice was decreed irresistibly. Yes, it was written. But was it already then prepared? She had brought it on.